The Curse of the Pharaohs DLC for Assassin's Creed Origins has several stelae to decipher throughout the afterlives of the various pharaohs Bea encounters. Much like the papyrus riddles from the base game and the hidden ones, these stelae, once decrypted, lead to the locations of some randomly generated gear. What you might not know is that in the afterlife of Ramesses, Heb Sed, there is a hidden legendary bow, which is not randomized but in fact a specific item with its own little bit of lore and mythology. From the viewpoint in Heb Sed, it is possible to leap directly down to the Battlefield of Kadesh, the place that contains the throne of Ramesses and the site of a battle so definitive of who Ramesses was that it's forever immortalized within his afterlife. The battlefield is littered with corpses, many of which can be looted for a paltry amount of drachmas, but what we're interested in is a note on the ground near a dead white horse, which reveals a special order given by Ramesses to his general. Take 20 of your best men and separate from the main force. Use our best horses to outflank the Hittites from the west. Destroy as many chariots as you can, but the true goal is to kill the Hittite general who is distinguished by his helmet. Do this and you will be granted passage through the Duat when the time comes, for you will have helped in conquering the city of Kadesh. Exploring the battlefield further, we can see that Ramesses' agent did succeed in killing the enemy general, as one of the fallen soldiers has a peculiar helmet that differs from the others around him. This body can be looted, and if we do so, we're rewarded with Lion's Cry, a legendary predator bow. This weapon is quite powerful due to a combination of traits, possessing bonuses to stealth damage, critical hit rate, and applying poison on hit. Apart from this though, what makes it interesting is that its description seems fitting for a weapon found in a place like this, which shows that an amount of care went into putting it where it was. Maahes, son of Ptah, ochre-maned, rending-clawed, strike down the enemies of Egypt, devour their flesh with poisoned teeth, for they do not honor us. Maahes was an ancient Egyptian lion-headed god of war. He was a deity associated with war, protection, and weather, as well as that of knives, lotuses, and devouring captives. The interesting part starts when we consider the name of Maahes begins with the hieroglyphs for the male lion, although in isolation it can also mean one who can see in front. Some of the titles of Maahes were Lord of Slaughter, Wielder of the Knife, and the Scarlet Lord. A lot of this makes sense, considering the bow's location and what's transpired around it. The interpretation of Maahes' name that means one who can see in front resonates with the Lion's Cry being a predator bow, which is a weapon that allows Bea to fire on targets far, far in front of himself. In addition to this, the weapon itself is named Lion's Cry, and it has a lion's head as part of its decoration. Being considered a deity of war is absolutely reasonable for the namesake of a weapon found on such a blood-soaked battlefield, ditto for the titles Lord of Slaughter, Wielder of the Knife, and the Scarlet Lord. Pretty grim stuff, but then again I suppose that's why you don't want to be an enemy of Egypt. It is curious though why this Hittite general has this bow on his corpse. It would be odd for him to have it and to have used it, considering its inscriptions and who it's named after. What makes more sense is that, this being the weapon that killed an enemy so important to Ramesses' legend and reputation, it eventually manifested in his afterlife along with his enemy's body, somewhat immortalized in Heb Sed forever in his own twisted way. I encourage you to find this bow for yourself, as it's pretty good if you enjoy using poison, or if you miss an enemy's head and hit them in the body. Additionally, because of its poison on hit effect, this weapon can effectively have 3 damage types associated: normal damage from the impact, poison from its effect triggering, and fire damage if you dip the arrow into flames. Versatile indeed. Special thanks to SSJ Lang who informed me of this discovery over on Twitter, and Bea Castillo on ArtStation, whose art of Maahes I use in this video, and of course to you for taking the time to watch this. Now go out and nab yourself a new bow, and until next time, walk in the shadows.